Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you all are doing well. If you're new here, my name is Nishitha. I upload videos on foundation reviews, sometimes makeup tutorials, and also a lot of get ready with me's. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. And in today's video, I'm going to do a review and wear test of the new Makeup Forever Reboot foundation. I got the shade Y405. The shade range with this particular foundation line is a little bit different when compared to their other foundations. I'm usually either the shade 425 or 415 depending on how tanned I am. But whereas this one, 405 is actually same, like, a shade very close to a 425. So with this line, you want to keep that in mind. I'm gonna do like comparison swatches of the other Makeup Forever foundations that I own. I obviously love the brand, especially for foundations. That's why, I have their matte version, I have the Ultra HD one, and I also got the new one. I'm really excited about this foundation. I think recently this release and the WetNWild Dewy one are the foundations that got me very excited. So I'm gonna do a comparison swatch for you guys. So this is 405 of the Reboot foundation. So it is hair bit tanner than my face, but it's going to be summer soon and I will put on some tan, so this is like a perfect match. And they do claim that this foundation has a light coverage, light to medium coverage. It is okay for light coverage foundations to be a little bit darker because they won't have a lot of pigment in one pump, so they tend to sheer out and they will match your skin tone at the end. But I'm also going to swatch the other foundations that I have. This is the Matte Velvet Skin in the shade Y425. And my favorite foundation of all times, it's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This is also in the shade Y425. So this is Y405 in the Reboot one, whereas these two are Y425. I don't know why the shade range is different with this foundation. They don't have 415 or 425. Those are the shades that I usually go for. And a bummer is that they have only 33 shades with this foundation line. Makeup Forever has always been good with their shade range. Like even with the 33 shades, they do range from the lightest to the darkest, but they didn't hit their 40 shades mark this time. It's really surprising to me because this is one of those brands that has always been good with their shade range. So yeah, that's how it is. Let's get to the application now. One side I'm going to use my kabuki brush and on the other side I will use my beauty blender. They did say that it's supposed to be a light coverage for normal to dry skin types. So we'll see how much coverage we get and if we can build it up at all. So I put up the Sephora website so I can read out the claims. They say it's a skin revitalizing foundation that adds a radiant satin finish while hydrating, smoothing and firming the skin for up to 24 hours. It's supposed to give you a light coverage with a satin finish. It's for normal to dry skin types. So they have 3 highlighted ingredients. One is ginseng. It supports natural collagen, and Camellia japonica helps to support skin's natural glow, and Mondo grass helps to support the skin's protective barrier, and it is also supposed to reduce the appearance of your wrinkles and increase hydration for up to 24 hours. We'll see about that. By the way, if you hear toddler's noise in the background, that's my sister's 3-year-old. They're visiting us for the weekend. And he is loud. I don't think I can get through this video peacefully. So please bear with me. I need to film because I don't have any videos pre-filmed for the week. We were busy with all the move last weekend, so I couldn't film. So I need to get some videos done today, even with all that noise in the background. So that was about 1 layer with my beauty blender. I absolutely love the finish of this foundation. Like they said, it will give you like a satiny glow as if you're glowing from within, but it's not overly dewy and it's very hydrating on the skin. It feels ultra lightweight. It looks like my skin but better. Coverage is definitely light to medium. Like you can see, it didn't give me a whole lot of coverage, but this is just with 1 layer. We'll see later if we can build it up. But right off the bat, I'm loving the finish of this. I love foundations with satin finishes which are not too matte but at the same time not too dewy. I feel like they look very natural on your skin but still makes your skin look very healthy and glowy. So now I'm going to use a brush on this side, see if we can get a little bit more coverage when compared to this side. By the way, I was testing out a primer from Laura Mercier. I think it's their new hydrating one. It broke me up pretty badly. It's been really rough on my skin for the past few weeks because first I was testing out the Bite Beauty foundation. That broke me out. And when it has finally calmed down, I went ahead and started using the Laura Mercier primer. That made it worse. It's like I need to give my skin a break so it can heal. And all these acne bumps, like, you know, can go down a little bit. So that's the problem when you have sensitive skin. You cannot try, like, you know, every product as you wish. Speaking of sensitive skin, I did look up the ingredients list. This doesn't have alcohol in it, but it does have perfume listed as one of its ingredients. It's actually at the top. It's right here. The other foundations have fragrance in them as well. And I do smell like, you know, slight perfume with this. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you're trying to go fragrance-free with your foundations, this is not going to be it. Okay, I think with brush, the coverage is a little bit better. But finish-wise... Hello? ఏం కావాలి ట్రక్ ఇక్కడ లేదు నాన్న అడుగు ట్రక్ ఎక్కడ ఉందో రే తలపేరా కార్తీక్ తలపేసెల్లవా. So with brush, I did get a little bit more coverage when compared to this side. Finish-wise, I don't see a lot of difference with both the tools. My skin has this beautiful radiant finish, which I really love. So it totally depends on what you like to apply your foundation with. I personally prefer Beauty Blender. So I'm going to add a little bit more in this area to see if I can build up the coverage of this foundation. So whenever I'm trying to add extra coverage, I first like to just go in with my fingers and pat it in those areas. And probably let the foundation sit there for about, 5 seconds. So the foundation is going to set and give me a little bit more coverage. You can see this is my neck. I don't have any foundation on it. And this is how the foundation looks on my skin. When I go in the sunlight, you can see that it is, like I said, a tiny bit darker than my neck. But, it's going to be summer soon, so I don't really mind that. Then I can always use a concealer that is a shade lighter than my skin tone and highlight parts of my face. Yeah, so I was able to add a little bit more coverage. But the best you're going to get is medium coverage with this foundation. I will use some concealer to do spot concealing later. But personally, I don't mind a light to medium coverage foundations. I knew this video is going to be a little bit biased from my side because Makeup Forever, in my opinion, makes best base products. I love all of their foundations and their powder foundation as well. But I'm really impressed with this foundation. It's very lightweight. It's hydrating. It just looks like my skin but better. But it evened out my skin tone beautifully, and it's giving me this beautiful glow as if I'm glowing from within. So far, I'm loving this. It's currently 10:15 by the time I finished applying this foundation. So now I'm going to go off camera, finish the rest of my makeup. I'll probably do something very natural today because we are going out to one of my sister's friend's house. So I don't know. I just want it to be really natural because, the foundation is also giving me that natural vibes. So it shouldn't be long. I'll see you all in a bit. Hey guys, I am back. It's currently almost 12 o'clock, so I've had this foundation on for 2 hours at this point, and my bronzer, blush, everything blended beautifully on top of this foundation. Even after layering my concealer, nothing looks cakey. I do have some dry patches on my skin, one right here and one here where I have that, acne blemish. There things are looking a little bit patchy, but I don't want to blame a foundation for that because when your base layer, when your skin is not good, if you put things on top, it will cling on to that. But when compared to other foundations that I've been using, on this dry patch, this foundation is working a lot better because it's very lightweight and very hydrating on the skin. So far I'm loving it. Oh, but one thing I want to mention is that it is slightly cracking on my smile lines. Maybe you can't see it on camera, but in person I can see that it's slightly settling into that smile line. But when I do this, it's going away. Actually, you know what? I have this problem with their other foundations as well. They tend to settle in my smile lines a little bit. So my skin does feel a little bit tacky to the touch. And I think there is a slight transfer. But it's not coming off of my face completely. And I did not powder my skin at all. So if you don't want your foundation to feel tacky, I just set it with the powder. I personally don't mind. I just have some powder underneath my eyes. and in my T-zone. That's all. So the foundation is on its own. I'll continue with the wear test now. We'll probably end up going to a salon right now because my sister wants to get her hair done. She got some coloring done in Folsom, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not looking that great, and she doesn't like it either. So she wants to do if it can be fixed. So we'll probably go to a salon, and even I might do something to my hair. I don't know, haven't completely decided yet. So when I come back, you'll probably see me with a completely different hair or the same one. I don't know, we'll see. So that's it for now. I'll see you all in the evening and share my final thoughts on this foundation. Hey guys, I'm back. It's currently 7:30, so I've had this foundation on for about 9.5 hours at this point. Okay, there is definitely pros and cons with this foundation. So let me start off with the pros. Like I always said, Makeup Forever foundations are like one of my favorites. So even this one, it went on beautifully. It blends out like a dream. It feels ultra lightweight on the skin. It looks like your skin but better, very natural. It's hydrating and it gives this beautiful glow. My favorite part about this foundation is the finish itself. But being said that, there are definitely cons. See, usually my face, my particular skin holds on to foundations really well. Whereas this one, it's not that long wearing. So if you're looking for a foundation that's not going to budge throughout the day, this is not going to be it for you. And if you have extreme discoloration or any stubborn acne spots that you want to cover, this doesn't provide you with enough coverage to do that. And on my skin, this side, it looks really good. You can still see my blush a little bit. The contour is still there. Usually this particular blush is a little bit long wearing than this. But whereas on this side, it came off here completely, not because of the foundation. As you can probably tell that, probably not. I just had my, split ends taken out, and then I had my bangs retouched. And I got like light highlights. They're hardly seen unless you go in the sunlight because my hair is almost dark brown. And then I think I got chocolate brown highlights. You cannot see them unless light hits it, because I wanted to get something like that because it's low maintenance. Anyway, so I was getting my hair color, and when they were washing my face, I think they got some color on my face, so she was rubbing it really hard to take that color off. So the foundation has completely come off from this area. So, I'm not considering that as the foundation's fault, but even on my chin, it has come off a little bit. And on my dry patches, it's looking obviously dry, but I don't want to blame foundation for this because, no matter what kind of foundation I use on my dry patches, it tends to do the same thing. And I have this acne spot that is still, coming out. It's still taking its time. So because of that, I kept touching my face because it hurts a little bit. And foundation has come off a little bit from here. So those are the areas where I'm seeing that the foundation has been faded throughout the day. Like I said, it's not like, waterproof or very long wearing. All in all, I think it's a good foundation if you're looking for a foundation that's going to give you a beautiful glow for day-to-day purpose. And one more con, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, is that the shade range is a little bit off with this line. They have only 33 shades. I wish they had hit the 40 mark. And also it has perfume in it. 3 years back, I wouldn't care about perfume so much, but at this point in my life, since my skin is sensitive to fragrances and stuff, I do care about that stuff a little bit. So that's one more personal con for me. And at first it was settling in my smile lines, but I don't see any more cracking after that. Yeah, what else? I don't see any oil speaking through because, I think the foundation is maintaining the hydration levels of my skin really well. One thing I've learned that, when a foundation or something you applied on top is drying out your skin tends to overcompensate and produce more oils throughout the day. Whereas with this foundation, I don't see that happening because it's just maintaining, balancing my oils really well. So I'm not looking shiny in my T-zone at all. So that's one good thing. So my thought is that if you already own the Ultra HD foundation, I don't think you need to run out and get this one right now. So the Ultra HD one, if you want to make it look even more natural, which by the way, on its own, it is a very natural looking, beautiful foundation. But if you want to make it even more natural and bring it to the finish of this particular foundation, I'd say mix in some beauty oil. So if you're a fan of the brand and if you've been dying to try out this foundation, I'd say get a sample first from Sephora, see how it lasts on your skin. According to me, this is not the best long wearing foundation ever. I actually wore it to work the other day and I really loved how beautiful it made my skin look. Again, even on that day, it has come up from my chin a little bit. So it's not the best long wearing foundation ever. But if you're willing to give it a try, get a sample first and see how it works on your skin. So that's the end of the review. I hope it was detailed enough for you to make a decision about it. I don't know if it was enough though. I don't know if it helps you make a decision, but if it does, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in my next one. Bye.